everyone, my name is Kaikun6 and I'm here to do another episode of Playlist Stories. I wanted to do like a crafting video this week, but let's just say over the weekend I dreamt about somebody. I would say like it was just one of those weirdest dreams I always get, like at least once, or like once a year or once every couple years. And it's like not something that I would remember often. It's kind of like my brain would remind me of somebody, and then for some reason they're either, you know, like I dream of them or they dream of me, and then they somehow like they end up in my dreams. I don't know, it's just so weird. I'll just tell you a little bit of a background on this. Was that like I had like basically I had a vivid dream over the weekend, and I'm in the midst of writing that dream. And so I felt like while I was writing this, before I recorded this video, I wanted to like write about it and then talk about it here with you guys, because I remembered I talked about this person before, and I think I mentioned it to like my family, to some of my friends, especially the ones that I still talk to as of today. And you know, I've made new friends along the way while I moved to Texas, and I've never told the story to them. So for the ones that are like my Texan friends, hi, or if you're new to this channel, hi. I do playlist stories at least like once a month or maybe twice a month depending, and what it is just I tell like experiences of my own life that are attached to like, you know, songs that create like a lot of memories to it. So like every single time there's a song like this titled P.I.M.P by 50 Cent, it just reminds me of someone or a memory, and I like to talk about it so that way y'all know a little bit about me basically, or just some of the crazy stories that I have, you know, I've actually told before to my friends. So now I'm kind of like posting it here publicly on YouTube so everybody can see. So yeah, I talked about it before where I think I've written down like a bunch of stuff, you know, like the episodes and stuff. Like I mainly use this notebook. I got this notebook from like Dollar Tree like last year or something. It's like really pretty cover. It was like $3 from their Dollar Tree Plus section. And so what I did was I started writing down like all the episodes like on this notebook, and so it led to like, okay, let me start being a little bit more organized, since like sometimes I do ramble on my videos like I usually do. And so I felt like I wanted to you know, kind of like be a little bit more organized with the videos, and hopefully this will help me. And so what I did was I started writing down the episodes, like the name of the song, the artist that goes with it or the musician, and then a little bit of the description of like you know, like what kind of memory or experience is attached to the song. And so that's what I did. And so for this episode, for this one is about a kid, or I should say now a man, I should say. I don't know, I haven't talked to him in forever, and the last time I've seen him was maybe 2012, 2013, 2014. All I know is like in that year span probably. And but yeah, like I'll just get to it eventually. So this song, of course, I listened to a lot when I was a kid, for sure. I felt like 50 Cent was like in almost every millennial and Gen Xers' life and stuff like that. And you know, I listened to it a lot when I was in school, and plus they played the song a lot in like, you know, middle school, high school dances. They played it in school events and this and that, and so it just became one of the songs like I completely forgot to listen to after high school. And then so once I decided to like download like Pandora at the time, they actually played the song a lot. And sorry, I'm playing with my hair. I don't know why my hair was so frizzy today, and I don't know, it's just so kind of like frizzy, so just ignore me, just me playing with my hair. I'm trying to make it like really good, I guess. But yeah, so as soon as I became like a more of an adult and stuff like that, I've actually like listened to the song plenty, and every single time I listen to the song, this memory attached to it. So now I can give you guys like the kind of like the quick background type of thing. So what happened was, let's go back to second grade Jennifer, right? Back in second grade, I've had the most loveliest teacher I've had in that elementary school, which was Euclid Elementary in Ontario, California. And I had this teacher. I'm not sure if she still works there or not or whatnot, but that teacher's name was Mrs. Boccolini. And she was such a really nice teacher. Like, I had her for that year. I don't remember if my sister had her for like third or fourth grade or something, but she knew of my sister, and so like she liked both of us. And I was like such a good student to her. And you know, she always told, like, during the PTA meetings or the parent teacher conferences during schools, like, they always told her like how much of a good kid I was, and I was like really excelling in a lot of stuff. And I even like I was also like, basically, like, she taught us like multiplication also during the second grade, but you know, we were not supposed to learn that till years later, right? And but I remember like, oh, this is going to be really easy to remember, this and that. And so she was just a overall nice teacher. I really love her. And I don't know if she's still teaching there, but like I would love to like see her one day and hopefully see if she can remember me. I don't know. It's been years, and I've changed a lot. So give me a minute. I'm gonna be taking a sip of water. I have been drinking a lot of water lately. Like, what I started doing was I only drink water during the weekdays, and like also like, well, for mornings. Like, I stopped doing coffee. I wanted to start doing coffee, to be honest, but I don't know. It's just a long story. All I know is I wanted to drink more water, so hopefully my skin will be a lot better, because I started noticing I started breaking out right here. So anyway, I continue on with this experience. So during this time, I was like you know, I was minding my own business. There was like a new kid in the class that showed up. And I do want to use his real name. I really want to, but I found out that a lot of people actually know him and they're still friends with him. And I'm like, oh, okay. Or they know how to get in contact with this person. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to use his initials. So on here, I ended up writing down JC. So that's his initials. Okay. So JC showed up to basically my life in second grade, and was just like, you know, being really nice. Like, I was being nice to him, and I guess it led to like this really weird friendship, I would say, because I felt like I was only a friend to him just for that one day, and then that was it. I haven't seen him since another time, which I will explain in a bit. So yeah, second grade Jennifer, right? Minding my own business. I was doing my schoolwork, and Mrs. Boccolini was you know, doing her thing, teaching the students what's going to be that lessons for that day, which I actually do not remember. But all I know is that she was basically in the middle of her excuse me, in her middle of her lesson. Sorry, I can't even speak. And so I don't know where this kid showed up in my class and just like said, hey, like, I'm kind of like the new student here. And then so he I was like, you know, where do I sit and this and that. And so Mrs. Boccolini was just like, you know what, I have the perfect seat for you. And like, since she knows me very well, she ended up pulling up like a small chair right next to me. And so he and I sat together that day. And not very sadly, that friendship, or whatever you want to call it, that kind of like experience didn't live like that long, I would say. So so he and I, we were trying to get to know each other. He told me his real name and I told him mine, and it led to like this, I don't know if he was like obsessed or just kind of like really excited just to make a friend, because I don't know if he's ever made a friend before or not. But he was really happy to meet me, and then, you know, me being his friend. So after that, he started getting a little bit weirder, kind of like sick-wise. Like, I don't know if he had any health problems prior to me knowing him or something, but I found out on that day where he started kind of like falling asleep in the class. And Mrs. Boccolini was just like, is everything okay, JC? And he did not respond. Like, he immediately like his head plopped onto the desk where everybody heard, and everyone was like, what's going on? And so Mrs. Boccolini came over walked over to this kid and was just like kind of like gently moving him and was just like, "Are you okay?" No response. She freaked out. She immediately called like the nurse, and then the nurse just said, "What do you mean we have an unconscious student?" Is that we need to call the police or something. And so she hung up on the nurse. The nurse called like 911. They escorted him out of the classroom, and I felt like I thought it was going to be the last time I'll ever see him. And Mrs. Boccolini was just like, "Are you doing okay?" And I just said, "Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what happened. Like, why did he pass out on me, basically?" And that's what it looked like, because I was talking to him while she was doing her lesson, but I was trying to, I guess, help him in a lesson or just something. It was like a random conversation, right? And all of a sudden, I just saw like his eyes starting to get like sleepy or like droopy. I do not know. It was just one of the weirdest things, and I felt like I will never forget that, because it was like so vivid in my brain back in the day and then as of today. And so, okay, fast forward to, I want to say maybe 2012, 2013, maybe like just say between 2012 to like 2015, in that era, because all I remembered was it was like I finally came back from Texas, and I was trying to enjoy my relationship with, with my now husband, Blake. And we were just trying to figure out like what we were going to do while we were there in California, like working, and that's what he was doing at the time. And then I was just basically just not working at the time. I was basically joining my mom wherever she went. So, and this was like one of the most weirdest experience I've ever experienced, I would say. Like my mom met this woman, and this woman like and her became friends, and I don't want to use her real name. I don't know what to do like to give her a nickname, because like she's been called many things, sadly many mean names, based on my mom's experience, because she is like not a good person, I would say. Like she was at first, and then she just started taking advantage of my mom, and then my mom's like, "No, I don't want to do that no more." And then she started being like, a bitch and this and that. So anyway, so this woman, you know what, I'll just say her real name. So her real name is Erica. So she like that day, I just remember where she called up my mom and just said, "Hey, do you think you could come over this weekend and hang out?" And my mom was just like, "For what?" It's like I need some money, this and that. And my mom was just like, "No, I just paid bills, this and that. You need to do something on your own." And she's like, "Okay." And I don't know, they just had argument back and forth, and I remember that vividly because that day my mom was mad. And so once the weekend came, she decided, you know what, I'm not gonna help her. If she does beg for money from you or your sister, you're gonna have to say no. And I was just like, okay, whatever. But she never came up to me or anything. So that day was the most weirdest days ever, to be honest, because on that weekend, her kids, which were their names, I'm gonna use their real names. Their real names are Danny and Ivan. Okay, they showed up, and they were kind of like playing their own music. Of course, they were playing a lot of rap that I've listened to over the years and this and that. And so P.I.M.P by 50 Cent came up, and they were just kind of like basically rapping and this and that. So anyway, after a while, they started talking to me and my sister. We were just trying to get to know each other, because we haven't seen each other since like maybe 6-7 months after, like, from that time, because my mom was busy with stuff, and then I got busy with school, or if not, I was hanging out with friends. I don't know. It was just one of those weird experiences, right? And so I just remembered I was probably like a few months in, or maybe a year, since I came back from Texas, just to have Blake experience life here and that. So yeah, so during that time, I think I was maybe like, I want to say 9-10 months already, like when I came back from no, it might have been a little bit longer, because I remember it was like during spring, summer time. Anyway, it was very hot in that house. They had fans on. They didn't have no AC at the time in Erica's house. So we were trying to cool down. They gave us like water, sodas, everything they could think of. And then my mom freaked out at one point about what Erica said, and I think I couldn't believe my mom actually remembered a little detail about it, But like, I told my mom of that experience in second grade to her, like on that same day, and for some reason she never forgot about it. And so she remembering this kid's name, and then his dad showed up too. So this is how it went. Like, I'm trying to like give you like all this background detail so that way you guys have an idea of it. But by the front door, it was like not that far from where like the living room is, because like as soon as you enter in the house, the living room is like literally right in front of you, but a little bit adjacent to the left, right? So me and my sister, we were sitting down in the couch, and I heard somebody say that JC was going to be coming in to the house, and I kept thinking, what do you mean by that? Like, I've never heard that name in years, or like maybe it was not the same person, who knows? So, but I was completely wrong. Apparently, I don't know if he had like a vendetta against me or something. I don't know what's going on. Like, all I know is that I was really nice to this kid back then, and then for some reason he just became a totally different person. Like I don't know what happened. So he came in through the door. He was with I don't remember if it was like a friend of his, but I know his dad was already there. Like, he showed up from the back door of the house, I guess, because he was trying to get like something started on the grill. I don't know. It was just a very weird encounter. Like, he showed up, he just like basically was talking to Erica and my mom was freaking out because she was like, I know you, I think I remember you from somewhere. And they were, as they were having this conversation, JC came to the front door, and I was just like, how can this boy, or at the time, yeah, know about Erica and all that? Like, how is this all connected, right? Like, we were literally living in a small world, because this kid came out of nowhere, and when I was in second grade, and then all of a sudden I haven't seen him since second grade, and so we were already adults at this time, and I guess he heard like that I was there, I guess, and so he wanted to see me. And let's just say he didn't change much from second grade, or at least at that time. He did got taller, of course, because we were just kids back then. He got taller. He was as skinny as I remember him. He still had like the dark brown skin. I know he was like darker than me and this and that. And same black short hair, everything. Like, I wish I could like, I wish I had photos or something to display, so that way I can just show you guys like what did this kid look like. But all I know is that he was just a very, very, very weird kid, right? So he came in through the door, and immediately my thought was, okay, I'm gonna be judging this person for sure. And I tried to ignore him or try to avoid eye contact, because I was like, I cannot believe like he's back. I don't know, like, I thought like, will this be a sign that maybe he and I can be friends again? I don't know. Like, I was freaked out, because I was like, at that time I haven't seen him since second grade, and my mom would tell me stories about this kid just because of Erica, right? Apparently Erica and the dad had a thing. I don't know. I do not know what's going on. And so so basically, like, my mom would tell me stories about this kid and his dad, and then something with Erica, this and that, and so it became like a whole mess. But believe me, you guys, it was just a mess. And so apparently he got to know me over the years, I guess, because of my mom always visiting her whenever we weren't around and stuff. And then then my mom will know a little bit of information about him that she'll tell me sometimes, and I'm just like, I don't really care, because like, he's not my friend. Like, if he wanted to be my friend, he could have found his way to reach out to me and just come and talk to me, right? But he never did. And so that day, I guess he just wanted to, I guess, come out clean, or just wanted to just talk to me. I do not know. All I know is that he came through the front door. I immediately recognized him from the corner of my eye while I was having a conversation with Danny and Ivan, and so I ignored him. Immediately, he just like looked straight at me, and my sister looked at him and then looked at me, and I was just like, great, I'm gonna be expecting him to say something, right? And immediately he called me. He was like, is that you, Jennifer? And I was just like, I turned to him, and I was just like, who are you, basically? And he's like, don't you remember me? My name is JC. Like, and he told me his last name and this and that. And so I was like, I think I remember you. And then she's like, yeah, like, you remember me from second grade. I kind of like fell asleep in class and this and that. And so Danny and Ivan were looking at me confused, like, you went to school with this guy? And I was just like, yeah, but it was for the one day. So I immediately got up, I handshook him, and I just said, hey, how are you? And so he basically was like astonished that he was like, wow, you really changed over the years. And I just said, yeah, food became my life. Like, I got fatter, but I am a lot happier, right? And so he was just like, yeah, like, a lot of things has changed for me. So he was telling me about his life story, which I didn't really care about, honestly, because as soon as I felt like, kind of like, you know, once he started telling me what he's been up to over the years, I felt an aura that I felt like, yeah, no, I need to stay away from this guy. And my sister immediately was just like, I need to do something. And then so she decided to distract Danny and Ivan, because Danny and Ivan were kind of like paying attention to me and JC. And yeah, it was not going great. I just know it was like, he was ruining the vibe, and Danny and Ivan were about to do something before they were going to, like, you know, beat him up or something. I don't know, because they were very violent boys at the time. And they were not like protective or anything, but like as soon as they sense something wrong, they'll do whatever they can, like include violence to get it back to that type of vibe. I don't know, it was really weird. Anyway, so as soon as he brought up the whole thing that happened in second grade, he told me the truth. Like, he did have like a health condition or something, and I was just like, okay, that's fine. Let me take another sip of water. I'm feeling my throat dry. Excuse me. And then so I told him, I was like, okay, cool, that you know, I hope that health condition got better. I don't know what to tell you, because like, I've never heard of that condition before, this and that. I didn't even know if he just had like low sugar or he just didn't eat that day. I do not know. It was just a very random thing that happened. And then so immediately he asked me, like, are you going out with anybody? And I was like, yes, I actually am. He was kind of a little bit disappointed. He was just like, who are you going out with? And I just said, I don't know if anybody told you this, but I have been with a guy that I've dated since 2011. And we were long distance, but I ended up bringing him back with me from Texas. And he was just like, hold up, what is going on here? You need to tell me the whole story. So I told him about, you know, what me and my now husband went through for a relationship. I could just tell as minutes went by me telling the story, I could just tell the disappointment in his face. I don't know if he had a crush on me or he wanted to go out with me. I do not know. It was just really weird at the time. Right. And then I found out he actually really did after. So let me talk about it first, or explain it. So as soon as like I got done telling like how I met Blake, this and that, Danny and Ivan immediately was like, oh really, we need to go meet this guy. And I was like, well, whenever he has a day off, you can meet him. And I think he did. I think at one point Blake did show up to one of the hangouts, and I think that was the final time he ever did because of his work schedule and this and that. And so Erica got to meet him. Erica was just like, he's a really nice boy, but he's not good for you. And I was just like, I don't care. Like, I love him, and that's all that matters. And so immediately the second question goes, or the other question, he'll be like, do you love him? And I just said, yeah, I've been with him already for like maybe 2 or 3 years now at this point. I don't know. It was just like so weird. Like how he was asking me all these personal questions, and I'm just like answering them like as if nothing happened. Basically, it felt like we just stopped, and then we just like we put our life on pause, and then finally it's on pause, and then so we just started talking, right? And so he basically got more disappointed as time went by. I was talking to him, and then all of a sudden him and his friend were kind of like looking at each other, and then immediately I knew what was gonna happen. All I know is that like this part of the video is going to be a little bit probably of a trigger warning or anything, but like I don't have anything against the LGBTQ plus community. I want to say I'm an ally. I'll tell you that I am an ally. It's just this situation just got really weird back in the day. So what happened was, he told me that he came out of the closet, and that detail, I was just very proud of him. I just said, congratulations, I am glad that you came out of the closet. But it doesn't explain why you told me you have a crush on me or whatever, because I could tell by the disappointment, like, he wanted it to see if I was single so that way he can ask me out, I guess. I don't know. I guess that was the plan, because his dad walked in and he was just like, hey son, I need you to do something for me. And so he immediately looked at his dad and was just like, Dad, I need to tell you something. And he was just like, oh, what is this, son? Like, is it important? You know, like, whatever. He was trying to be like a really good dad, right? Even though he was like a drunken bastard. Excuse me. So, whenever he showed up to one of these events, he would come already drunk, or he'll come with like a bunch of beer. And these type of like hangouts always led to violence, police, this and that. I don't know why we went to these type of parties. Anyway, so I guess like he made that decision to come out of the closet to his dad, and his dad was very disappointed, to be honest. Like, I felt really bad, because I was like, I was the one who said congratulations to him, and like his friend kind of was like, you know, happy about it, I guess. But like, for some reason, he was really disappointed when his own dad, like his boyfriend's dad, was not happy about it. So he went off on him. I think he was like being homophobic and this and that. And so Erica came in and was just like, what happened? And so my mom overheard everything. So my mom was just like, I'll tell you about this. And so as my mom was explaining to him in the kitchen, JC and his dad and like the friend that he showed up with had to go talk to the backyard while they were trying to do the grill or whatever. And Danny and Ivan was like this close apparently to kicking some ass, because the mood was already bad already. And so Danny and Ivan like immediately was just like, what is going on, right? And I just said, I don't know what's going on. I do not know. It was just really weird. I haven't seen this kid since the 2nd grade. And so I just told them what happened. And so immediately they just started kind of like, you know, just having back to their conversations, this and that. I heard his JC and his dad yelling at each other about what's going on. And so I heard a little bit of details here, and I still felt weird about it, because I was just like, what is going on, basically. And apparently from that timeline, he was the first boy, I guess, to ever had a crush on me. I don't know, which is so weird, because I'm like, you don't get crushes in 2nd grade or anything. Like, you do get them once you get older or something. I do not know. It was so weird. But apparently me being nice to him around that time, I guess, led to like this infatuation or something. I do not know. All I know is that once I told him about my relationship status to him, he was disappointed, and so he said that he was going to stay gay as long as I'm still in a relationship with my now husband. And I don't know if he knows about this or not, but I am married. So, and I'm happily married, and I am glad that I never went out with him or anything, because who knows what kind of relationship that will lead to. All I know is that, hello, you were just a friend to me one day in my entire life, and then all of a sudden you disappeared. You came back years later, and since you came out of the closet, congratulations. You know, I hope you are very happy with you and your friend or whoever's going to be your partner in life. But why do you want to stay gay just because I'm now in a relationship? I don't know. Like, it's a very triggering thing. I'm sorry if anybody is getting triggered by this, but it was just one of those weird things that I had never thought that I would experience. It's like, it's kind of like a really weird, basically messed up story. Like just because the girl that you like or the person that you like ends up with somebody else, and it's like they're happy with them. It's like you have to change something about yourself just to, you know, be a little bit more petty or something. I do not know, but that's all I remember. After that day, it was all a blur, because I just remember trying to ignore him, and he kept looking at me, staring at me, wanting to talk to me. And then when I had a chance to talk to him, I don't know what I said to him during that time, and it was just it was kind of like I just knew that would be the final time I'll ever see him ever again. And that was true, because after a while of like my life being busy and then me hanging out with my friends and stuff, like I haven't been at Erica's house anymore. I haven't seen him anymore or anybody there. And if I have, it was kind of like one of those weird weekends where I had free time, and then my mom would have me and my sister join her to hang out with these type of friends. And so yeah, let's just say that ride home, the ride back home was very weird. My mom asked me like so many questions. Like at this point, 20 questions do not apply to her. Maybe it's 100 questions, right? So my mom was just like, are you sure that was the same kid from 2nd grade? And I said, yes. And they said, what was his full name? And I gave her the full name, JC. And then she was like, okay, do you remember anything about this kid? And I just said, he looks exactly the same as I remembered from 2nd grade. He just grew up a little bit. And then she was like, okay. And then she's like, yeah, I don't know how I met his dad either. I just know Erica through work or something. I don't know, Mom. I forgot how my mom even met Erica, to be honest. It was like one of those things where my mom would mind her own business in public, and then somehow they look at my mom and then they just want to be friends with her. And I guess she has that aura, And so, and it led to some very weird years of friendships, and with other friendships, like too, like it kind of like this friendship led to other ones, right? So yeah, I don't know, that was so weird. I don't know, I felt like I just hope he's happy. That's all I ever hope for. I hope JC is very happy, and I do hope that I don't know, maybe like whoever is his partner now, whether maybe he still stayed gay or he went back to being straight, I do not know. I just hope that whoever is in his life makes him really happy, and I do hope that he's doing for the best. I don't know nothing about him. I don't know if like he's still alive or anything, sadly, but that was a part of my life, or part of the chapter that I wanted to close, because I just knew that if this went on, like I felt like if I wanted to pursue this type of friendship, I knew it was going to end up badly, because he was going to end up probably like finding out where I live, or at the time my parents were at like their home where they live at. And so he was going to probably like create some sort of chaos that I did not want into my life. And so I'm kind of glad that that was the final day that I have ever seen him, to be honest. And yeah, so I just don't know what to think about it, to be honest, because I felt like I think about this person like every few years, to be honest, and like I don't know why I dream about him at least once a year, or even like every 2 to 3 years. It's so weird. I don't know. But I just remember I wrote it down right here on my notebook, like, yeah, you need to talk about this experience of 2nd grade and then at Erica's house. And so I just remembered some of the details from that house, because I remembered I pushed it to like the depths of my memories, because I was like, it's something that I never want to remember ever again, because I remember that day, it just felt so off to me, right? Like I just did not know what to expect. And then all of a sudden, with Danny and Ivan, we're kind of like, trying to set the vibe and everything. And then all of a sudden somebody that they've known too, that, I don't know, just, I guess they met years ago, but then like they came back, right? It's kind of like they pop in and out of their lives a lot. And so they didn't really care about this person. And so when they found out that, he came out of the closet, I was the only one that said congratulations to him. But yeah, it just felt really weird. I just remembered, like, I don't think I'm ever going to see Danny and Ivan again. And I'm kind of glad I don't see him ever again. But I remember once in a while, like, me and my sister, we would talk about Danny and Ivan and then the family and this and that, how my mom went through the most craziest chapters of her life with this woman and the family. Like, I could tell probably stories about them. I just need to find the time or how to organize that type of setting. And I need to get a lot of details from my mom about this person, so that way I would talk about it. But if not, then that's fine. That's the only snippet you're ever gonna hear from this video. So yeah, and that's basically much it. That is very weird. All I know is that it's just this song, P.I.M.P by 50 Cent. It's just so weird how this song has been around for so many years. It's just been in my childhood, and then all of a sudden, like, people are like, oh, I've had memories with the song. I've actually, like, you know, had like my first bowl of food, or for some restaurant or something, or like their first significant other relationship, or they've climbed like a very tall hill somewhere in the US, or they climbed mountains, they've traveled and this and that. Like, they had good memories with the song, or if not, some bad memories, depending on, you know, who you are and what was your experience at the time while listening to the song. And then for me, it was this. So it's like every single time my playlist from Spotify will play this song, I'm always going to be thinking about JC and the weird ass experiences that I had with him. And so, yeah. I don't know what will be the next episode for playlist stories. I might upload them more often as I want to, because, like, right now at the time, it's like either I do want to do a lot of more shopping hauls, or if not, I want to do a lot more crafting videos. So I'm hoping next week I will do a crafting video. Who knows? But I do, like I said, I still have like these items, and I want to see if I could do some shorts with them. So I will do that, because I just uploaded a short just yesterday. And I was surprised how many views that got, because I was like, oh boy, I haven't like uploaded a short in a little bit. And I was very proud of myself that, like, I had all those views and this and that. So I was just telling that to my husband, and my husband was like, oh, that's really cool. And I was like, yeah, because the last thing I remember was like how many subscribers I had, and I think now I'm from 92 to 94. I don't know, like, I don't know what happened to there, because the last time I've seen it, it was like basically in the 80s, and now I'm already at 92, 94. I don't know, I need to go check. Anyway, for those new subscribers, thank you so much. Like, it really means a lot to me. I don't know if I'm gonna make like a 100 subscriber special. I do not know. And but yeah, and I also remember that today is September 11th for those that celebrate for 9/11 and this and that. So yeah, so happy 9/11, I guess. Like, I know it's not a very happy experience. It's really bad. Like, I remembered what I was doing in school when that event happened, and it was just really interesting. I saw it on the news, on the TV, and by the time the teacher tuned into the channel, it was already like the second tower fell, and so we had to go pray, do like a minute of silence for those lost lives and this and that. So it's like something I will never forget, honestly. So yeah. Excuse me, I needed more water. But yeah, that's basically much it. Hopefully next week will be a crafting video, because I have these items still nearby me, and I want to get like that piece of paper, or that craft brown paper that I have upstairs that I've been using for my ceramics, which I haven't done any ceramics in a long time either, that I want to use, so that way I can just plop it on some sort of foam board or something, and then just have all these wooden items that I have on hand right now, so I can start painting. So yeah, so once I'm done with that, probably I will show it off next week. And then yeah, just once I have the time, I'm gonna be doing the shorts for these. I need to wash a certain purse, so that way I can attach this pin to my purse, and hopefully I do not lose it. So yeah, because I love P.I.M.P, and anybody that gifts me P.I.M.P, I'm like, I love you guys, because I love P.I.M.P. And then this one, I'm not sure what to do with these. I'll probably do like a little frame collage type of thing that I would be using for these stickers. So it'd be really nice to do like a small video on that. So yeah, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna start painting these things, or if not, I'm gonna go write, because after telling this experience, I will start writing, and that way I can just get it out of the way, and then I will actually paint. So yeah. So sorry for the long video, but I had to explain this experience to you guys. It's just, like, I remember I told this to a few of my friends, and like, I don't know if they ever remember, but my mom has like really good memory sometimes. And I remember once in a while, whenever we would be on the phone, right, like, we'll talk about him, and then my mom's like, don't even talk about him, like, he's such a terrible person, his dad is even worse, blah blah blah, I don't want to talk about Erica, this and that. I'm just like, Mom, it's okay. Like, it's just like something that I remember, because sometimes during this time of the year, it's like between that summer and fall weather time era or gap that I get reminiscent, and then like I start listening to music, and then you know, memories pop up, and they do. And so like memories pop up all the time with me, since like I have time to reminisce and all that, but it just gets rambled, and I always ramble on like I am right now. And so I decided I'm gonna start putting all the details in this notebook, and then just start you know, kind of like reading it off to you to see like what I have written down, and then talk about it. So yeah, so I'll do that. But yeah, I'm gonna go now. So hopefully you guys have a lovely day and a lovely week, and I'll see you guys next week, hopefully a crafting video. So bye everyone.